Hello everyone, welcome to Urbanscape Bangalore, and in this episode we will be looking at growing hydrangeas in containers, and also we will be covering its pruning, which is a very contentious topic when it comes to hydrangeas. These are native to Asia and the Americas. It is an excellent shade-loving, flowering plant that not only gives you color, but the flowers last longer, and even when it dries, it looks pretty just like potpourri. So the type of hydrangea that I have is the Hydrangea macrophylla, or the big leaf hydrangea, which has these mop-head shaped flowers. These are the common hydrangeas that you will see worldwide and more specifically grown in India. There are many types of hydrangeas. Since I don't have any of the other types of hydrangea, I will stick to talking about the mop-head hydrangea. The macrophylla name comes from the shape of the leaves that are big and serrated at the edges. These are deciduous plants, which mean that they will shed their leaves during winter. These are majorly summer blooming plants, however, I have seen them bloom during winter as well. In frost affected areas, they go dormant during winter and perk up again during spring. The flowers are not fragrant. Bees and butterflies love the mopheads. In this episode, I will be transferring this plant into this bigger container with a hole at the bottom. But before that, let us get some basics right. So these hydrangeas generally grow from old wood and not from new wood like most other plants do. So what is this old and new wood? Old wood is the last year's growth which will produce blooms this year. If you touch and see the stems, they will be more brown in color and hard to touch, and the leaves will be more greener. So in these types of wood, I can cut it if there are no buds or signs of life. While pruning, do not get overzealous and cut off everything, because I remember doing it and I did not have flowers on this plant for at least a year and a half. So it is better to err on the side of caution. If you want, you can remove the dead flowers like this and also take off the old dead leaves. Now let us talk about new wood. New wood is this shoot that is nimble and soft to touch. The leaves are more chartreuse green color than dark green. Such types of shoots don't bloom this year, they will however bloom the next year. So pruning these is definitely not advisable. The bud type thing you see here is a new shoot and not the flower. Pruning them is strictly not advisable. The buds of the blooms, however, comes on the terminal part of the stem. I don't have buds to show you now, but it resembles the buds of a penta plant growing in clusters. The flower color ranges from the more sought after blue to pink, and in all ranges between these two colors. There are white and creamy colored flowers as well. I will briefly touch upon the changing color bit of this plant towards the end of this video. Now I will be transferring this plant into this container with a hole at the bottom. I will add these broken crocks to improve drainage. Now the potting mix for this plant will be 60% compost, 20% sand and 20% garden soil or coco peat. I have increased the amount of compost here because this plant loves organic matter. More the organic matter, more the soil would become acidic, and you would over time get that much cherished blue color in the plant. More about that later. Now remove the plant and check the roots. Mine is not very pot bound, but tease the roots slightly without damaging it much. Place the plant in the middle of the container and backfill. Mulch it with more compost and remove any old debris like old leaves or flowers that were covering the soil before. Now add water. Before that, I have added half a tablespoon of seaweed solution in a liter of water. And I've added the same into this to give it that initial boost of nutrients. And then I have thoroughly soaked the plant and the soil with water. This plant loves water, but that does not mean it must be sitting in water. Consistent watering is the key. It does not like getting dry, and if there is no water in the soil, the leaves will droop immediately. So add water every day during summer, and during winter you could see signs of drooping, and add water accordingly. You might have to water it twice a day also during summers if you experience extreme heat. Now, the other most important aspect of growing this plant is sunlight exposure. For the mophead, the ideal location to grow this will be the east location where it gets the morning sun till about noon. However, please note that I had placed this near a southwest facing balcony sill and it produced blooms in huge numbers. But I had to contend with leaf scorching, so for better looking leaves and flowers, east would be preferable. For fertilizing this plant, I would use a lot of kitchen waste, preferably once a week, along with used coffee grounds, tea leaves and compost. This is a very hungry plant, and more organic feed you give, more acidic the soil would become, in turn changing the color of the flower to blue. Coffee grounds are excellent. If you have leftover coffee, mix it with water and add it to the soil every week, and over time it would acquire that blue color. But you will have to wait for 1 or 2 years for the magic to happen. Citrus peels, ground eggshells are also excellent to make the soil turn acidic. To turn it pink, you need to make the soil alkaline. Mine is naturally alkaline, so I don't have to do anything. If you like pink, then you must add garden lime to the soil regularly. Garden lime is not lemon, by the way. You will get it in Amazon if you search. I'm probably thinking that I would do a detailed episode on this color change in some other video. I've not seen a lot of pest problems in this plant, so I can safely say that this is quite pest resistant. So in short, the hydrangea needs the right amount of sunlight, consistent watering and fertilizing to give you those blooms throughout summer. With this, we have come to the end of yet another episode of Urbanscape Bangalore. If you like this video, then please like, share and subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. The links will be provided below. Thank you for watching, and until we meet again, goodbye.